This is another in my podcast series that tries to give you some tips on how to use creativity in your business. This episode is all about exploring the givens. These are the things we all assume to be constant, but maybe aren't. Whether at home or at work, we tend to focus on things around us that are changing. This is all somehow connected to our own actions because that is where much of the information that matters to us tends to be located. Life is much simpler if we filter out things that appear to be unchanging or irrelevant. But when that stable, irrelevant background contains important information, this simplification can break down. Many problems become problematic because the background contained potentially important information. We just didn't notice it until it was too late. Analysis of background assumptions can be particularly important when making decisions about future actions, because the assumption that earlier background factors will continue unaltered into the future is somewhat risky. Now imagine that during the past year you had the opportunity to buy some land on which several houses could be built. You declined the opportunity because land was selling at a premium, and when building costs were taken into account, there was little, if any, profit. Fast forward a year, and the recession has meant that the owner of the land is now willing to sell at a greatly reduced price, and there are many building contractors who will work for you at a greatly reduced fee. Despite a fall or levelling out in house prices, project starts to become attractive. You have just challenged the givens that this project would never work because land was too expensive. In the modern world, technology advances rapidly, so what is not possible now may be possible in the near future. Prices of goods and services change frequently, so you should scan your environment on a regular basis and challenge some of those givens. Opportunities are just waiting to be discovered. Some of the ways of redirecting your attention to the background or of highlighting assumptions you would normally take for granted could include the following. How about transforming or reframing suggestions? This often has the effect of making assumptions more visible. For example, exaggerating a minor problem. Think what you would do if there were a national disaster rather than just a market blip. It might make you consider options you would otherwise have discounted, and hence highlight assumptions about what is appropriate or possible. Try reversing the problem. For instance, lots of ways to make something worse rather than how to make something better. And then reverse some of these negatives back again, turn them into positives. You could test the significance of an assumption by asking what would happen if it turned out not to be true. If it would not make much difference, then the assumption cannot be too critical. Deep questioning, for example, repeatedly asking your colleagues or partners why and why else, to uncover the reasons behind the reasons behind the reasons. Put proposals that are developed by different teams or groups in competition with one another. A bit like parliamentary debates. Or just how about calling in outsiders who may find it easy to see what the insiders are blind to. I'd like to know how you get on. Bye for now.